Okay, so I got two things to talk about real quick, I guess. In line with the rant earlier about people not being able to read or being too lazy to read, essentially, right? Well, that's obviously the case for a lot of people because since recording that video, several people have been pumping the gas themselves and have pulled the handle off and read the screen that says press select, like select your fuel grade. It says something along those lines, right? Like select a fuel grade. And you have, on most pumps, you have regular, plus, and premium, or V-Power technically. And on diesel, you just have the diesel button. But then they say push. On diesel, there's two diesel pumps. On one of the diesel pumps, the push button is worn off. So it makes a bit more sense. Some people aren't able to figure out what to push, even if they do read the screen. But for every other pump, people are just lazy or they're idiots because it says select a fuel grade, and they'll just sit there and look around and try to figure out what the fuck they're supposed to do. They're like what do I do? They're like, do I hang it up or do I hit this? And then they'll like hit the flap where like you set the nozzle back down, and then it'll cancel the transaction, and they'll be like, oh, I don't know what happened. I must have messed something up. I'm like, yeah, you canceled it. But anyway, it's another situation though where it's like if you were to just read the screen, you would know what to do because there's buttons all over the pump that say push, so you can select a specific fuel grade, just like it tells you to do on the home screen. I know, crazy, right? Reading, it turns out to be useful. Anyway, though, after that, I just had a little run-in with a guy who is another person I can add to the saga of not wanting to swipe your own card. He was an older gentleman, probably 50s, 60s, who knows, maybe even older, but he was an older gentleman, and he came in and he pulled up, and I was already helping a couple other cars, but I went over to him real quick, and the thing is, especially right now during the coronavirus pandemic, well, I understand that, like, some people don't care about it that much. I don't understand how people can just be, like, sticking their fucking arms out their window trying to hand their card to me. Like, they're just, like, trying to throw their whole body out of the car to hand the card to me, but they don't want to get out and do the card themselves. And that's exactly what happened with this guy. I was like, sir, can I just have you get out and swipe your card? And he was like, what? I was like, I just need you to swipe the card for me, is all. And he was like, and he turned on his car, of course. I knew instantly he was going to leave. He was super pissed about it. He was like, what the fuck? Like, same thing that some other people have done. And it's like, I don't think swiping your card is that big of a deal. Just swipe it. I can enter the amount. I'll make sure to run it as a credit instead of a debit. I'll do everything for you. I'll even pump it. You don't have to. Like, right now, you have the option of pumping it, but I'm just asking you to swipe your card. I've been to gas stations that before this pandemic already made you get out and swipe your own card. So it's ridiculous to me that this gentleman got so mad, or that anyone gets that mad. Because if you're in a store, you swipe your own card. If you go anywhere, if you're an ATM, like if you're anywhere, you will swipe your own card. And so only like places you don't swipe your own card at half the time are like restaurants. And so I don't understand why some of these people are so adamant that they're not going to swipe their card. I don't know if it's like an entitlement thing, like they feel like they don't have to get out of their car and deal with anything because they live in Oregon, or what? I don't know. Like, that might be it. Like, maybe it really is just the sense of entitlement and like and just laziness because they're so used to having people do everything for them when it comes to gas stations. And so it just frustrates me. But like he was like, can you close that gas cap? It's like, you won't even get out of your own car to close the door to your gas cap. And you're about to drive off. And so I was like, fine, I guess I'll do it, And so I went up to him, closed it on him, and he started driving away. And as he was driving away, I turned to him, looked in his side view mirror, and I was like, bye! And I started waving at him and smiling at him, killing him with kindness. I always like to do that. But it was frustrating, like, because already we had lost the business, it didn't much matter what I did at that point. But all I asked him was to swipe his card. All I asked him was to swipe his card. But some people really, 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 really do not want to do that. A lot of people in my experience have been like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you for letting me do that. Like, a lot of people are pretty indifferent or actually kind of for it. But then you get like this guy, and it's only been men, by the way. I want to point out, like, obviously it doesn't necessarily mean much, but as a psychology student who pays attention to things like that, it's intriguing to me that it's only been men who have not wanted to swipe their card and who have driven off. Women entirely, even if they're not all that happy with it, like I have not had a woman get really mad at me or drive off or anything because I wanted her to swipe her own card. So I don't know, interesting little gender difference there. But mostly I just wanted to rant about the fact that like you can swipe your own card. It's okay. It's not that hard. I'll do everything else for you. All right, I think it's just about time for me to get out of here. I got a little bit of time left, but it's so slow. I doubt I'll have anything else to say or rant about before my shift is over today. So I think I'll cut it. I think I'll stop it there. I guess the only other thing of interest is the fact that I haven't looked at it again. I think I have like $1 off per gallon, like for gas. So my car takes premium, so that's gonna be nice because it's still like $2.50, but that still means I'm gonna get it for under $2. So I'm gonna get some cheap ass gas here soon. But I just gotta wait for my replacement to show up, and then I get to go drive to Eugene and pick up my girlfriend who just got back from California. Haven't seen her in about a week, so that's gonna be nice. But I'm gonna have to deal with the asshole that replaces me first. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, we don't usually talk to one another. I don't know, but today, for some reason, I have a feeling it's gonna be interesting because last time we saw each other, definitely had a bit of an altercation. But nonetheless, I'm heading out of here. Peace out.